In February 2003, the unthinkable happened in Antwerp, Belgium, home to the most valuable diamond trade in the world. Inside the vault of the Antwerp Diamond Center, diamonds, gold, and cash worth over $100 million simply vanished. In one of the most meticulously planned heists in history, a group of criminals pulled off what many thought was impossible, a crime that would baffle authorities for years and leave a trail of questions that are still unanswered today. This is the story of Leonardo Notarbartolo and the daring Antwerp Diamond Heist, one of the greatest criminal capers of all time. Meet Leonardo Notarbartolo, a man who had been involved in the criminal underworld for decades. Notarbartolo wasn't your average thief. He wasn't interested in petty theft or quick cash grabs. No, Leonardo was a professional, and his sights were set much higher. He wanted to pull off a heist that would go down in history. This wasn't just about diamonds, it was about defeating one of the world's most secure vaults. His reputation preceded him, but even the most seasoned criminals knew this job would push his talents to the limit. What set Leonardo apart wasn't just his skill, it was his meticulous nature. Every detail of his plan was carefully calculated, and for that, he needed the best of the best by his side. Located in the heart of Antwerp, the Antwerp Diamond Center wasn't just another building, it was a fortress. In fact, it was considered one of the most secure places in the world to store precious jewels. The vault was tucked 2 floors underground, and it was protected by an astonishing array of security measures, including seismic detectors, magnetic locks, infrared sensors, and heat sensors, all designed to ensure that no one could ever breach its walls. Inside the vault were 160 safety deposit boxes, each containing millions of dollars worth of diamonds, gold, and cash. For most people, the Diamond Center was a symbol of wealth and luxury. For Leonardo, it was the perfect challenge, a challenge he was about to take on with precision and ingenuity. Leonardo knew he couldn't pull this off alone. He needed a team, each with a unique skill set. He reached out to trusted criminals, each known for their expertise. There was the genius, a master of electronics, capable of disabling any alarm system. Then came the monster, a man with immense strength, who not only helped with the heavy lifting, but also had an uncanny ability to remain calm under pressure. The king of keys was the locksmith, a man who could open any lock, no matter how complex. And finally, there was Speedy, the getaway driver, whose job was to ensure a smooth, fast exit without drawing attention. Together, these 4 men formed a team unlike any other. Their individual skills were unparalleled, and they would need every bit of their talent to infiltrate the Diamond Center. But even with the perfect team, planning a heist of this magnitude required patience, precision, and an unshakable confidence that no one would ever suspect them. Before the heist, the crew didn't simply rely on luck or intuition. They prepared for every possible scenario. They needed to practice. So they built an exact replica of the Antwerp Diamond Center's vault, down to the last detail. They spent weeks rehearsing, timing their actions, testing equipment, and refining their methods. Each member of the crew knew exactly what to do at every step of the process. The genius studied the security systems, learning how to bypass the infrared sensors. The king of keys honed his craft, unlocking complex locks in seconds. And the monster and Speedy rehearsed the critical physical movements, lifting heavy boxes, transporting diamonds, and escaping undetected. The plan was airtight, but even the best laid plans can go awry. February 15th, 2003 was the night of the heist. It was a cold winter evening in Antwerp, and the Diamond Center was bustling with activity. But the crew was ready. Leonardo's role was to create a distraction outside the building. He was the diversion that would keep the security guards and police occupied while his team made their move inside. One by one, the crew entered the building, each step taking them closer to the vault. The genius worked quickly to disable the infrared alarms, knowing that one wrong move could trigger the entire system. The king of keys unlocked door after door, using his expertise to bypass each security checkpoint. The monster used a custom-built device to deactivate the magnetic sensors guarding the vault, while Speedy waited for their signal to make the getaway. They had already bypassed a dozen security measures, But they still had one final challenge: the vault itself. This was the heart of the operation, the moment that would either make or break the entire heist. After hours of careful preparation, the crew finally breached the vault. They entered an enormous room filled with safety deposit boxes, each one containing valuable diamonds, gold, and cash. The crew moved quickly, knowing they had a limited window before the alarm would be triggered. They targeted 123 boxes out of 160, knowing that leaving a few untouched would buy them time. They moved with precision. The monster lifted heavy bags of diamonds and cash, while the genius directed the operations, ensuring no alarm was triggered. The King of Keys unlocked each box with astonishing speed, and Speedy was on standby, ready to drive the stolen goods away. Everything went according to plan. For a brief moment, they felt invincible, like they were in control of fate itself. The following morning, the Diamond Center staff arrived to discover something unimaginable. The vault had been breached, and millions of dollars worth of diamonds were gone. Authorities were called immediately, but the crime scene raised more questions than answers. How could such an elaborate, secure vault have been accessed? Where were the security footage and alarms? And how could the thieves have vanished without a trace? The investigation began, but there was a major problem. The crew was extremely careful. They had left no fingerprints, no visible clues, no signs of forced entry. But what they didn't realize was that they had made one fatal mistake, one that would unravel the entire operation. While the crew had been thorough in their planning, they overlooked one small detail. During their getaway, Speedy, the driver, had carelessly discarded a bag of trash in the street. Inside the bag were receipts, a half-eaten sandwich, and a piece of evidence that would ultimately seal their fate: a single hair. Investigators quickly traced the hair back to Notar Bartolo, and within days they had him in custody. But Leonardo remained tight-lipped. Not even his being convicted and sentenced to 10 years in prison changed that. He never revealed the identities of the rest of the crew or where the diamonds had been hidden. To this day, many of those stolen diamonds remain unaccounted for, fueling rumors and speculation about where they might be. His silence only added to the legend of the Antwerp Diamond Heist. Some believe that the diamonds were hidden away in secret locations, while others think they were sold through underground networks. But one thing is certain: the Antwerp Diamond Heist remains one of the greatest criminal capers of all time, a crime that defied all logic and left behind a trail of unanswered questions. The Antwerp Diamond Heist was a perfect crime, at least for a time. It was a masterpiece of planning, a demonstration of human ingenuity, and a testament to the lengths some will go to in pursuit of fortune. While the crew's identity may remain a mystery, the story of the heist lives on in infamy. To this day, it stands as a reminder that no matter how secure a vault might seem, there's always a way in if you have the right skills and the perfect plan. Thank you for watching. If you love this story, hit like, subscribe, and share. Who knows? Maybe the diamonds are still out there, waiting to be found. I'd also like to know what you think about Leonardo's refusal to betray his colleagues.